Dr. Sood, what can people of Delhi do? Give us 5 precautions that they can do while this climate emergency, this air emergency is upon us.
So I think I'll divide it into 2 groups. One are the vulnerable groups. We all know the persons who were vulnerable at the time of COVID. So that is the same subgroup which will be vulnerable to pollution also, the elderly, the youngsters, those who have immunosuppressed diseases like say CKD or kidney diseases, chronic heart diseases, chronic liver disease. So for those I would suggest not to go outside for too long, maybe just for important work. And if they have to go, then they might as well use a N95 mask, whatever pollutants they can keep it out. For those who are having asthma and COPD, they must follow up with the whoever physician or pulmonologist they are following up, and don't wait for symptoms to worsen. So once the symptoms worsen and you go on a time when you have to get admitted to the hospital or you go on to a ventilator, which I had just discussed with one of the patients who is gone, then it is difficult to retrieve that thing. Then get the immunizations done. There are certain immunizations which we do. They are to reduce the infections which also do occur with these sort of things. So pollution only does not get pollutants inside your lungs. It also gets organisms in more density inside your lungs. So that causes more pneumonias and more exacerbations of everything else. So that also needs to be taken care of. So there are 2 immunizations which I suggest everybody should take who are in the vulnerable group. Like one is the pneumococcal vaccine. It is every 5 years, and another is the flu vaccine which you need to take every year. The other group for persons who are not the immunocompetent group, young healthy guys, I would suggest that once you go out, maybe going to an office, a lot of people will go using a 2-wheeler or something like that. Please use N95 mask when you are traveling in this pollution. And rest of the things, don't go for workouts in early mornings and maybe evenings. And if you have to do it, maybe do it inside a gym or something like that. Or if you have to go outside, go in afternoons. And maybe I would suggest everybody to take the vaccinations. At least flu vaccines should be taken by everybody. And rest, the nutrition part of it, keep yourself hydrated. Dehydration is also one reason where everything else will get, it's difficult for the body to keep up with the pollutants and everything else when it is dehydrated. Keep your nutrition up and get your immunity up. That is the only things which will prevent you from this thing. And maybe as a society we can put some pressure on the government machinery also, because this has been going on for too long now. I am living in Delhi for last 15-20 years, and earlier it was not such an emergency. But now apart from those 2-3 years of COVID, rest of the time it is the similar sort of things. And our kids are living in an environment where as they grow old, they'll have these sort of problems which will be very difficult to treat. I am from a small town. In my place, pollution was not an issue. I have lived my childhood in that place. But the children who are living here, it will be difficult for them to handle. You can see there are a lot of children also who come to my OPD and they don't go out to play because they have persistent cough, those nasal symptoms. So those sort of things also affect the mental health, apart from physical health, what we can discuss. And here I see children are not going to play outside. In this environment, I can also not tell them to go and play. And that also inhibits all their development part also.